Welcome to the second and final video of section 2, installing Ansible. In this video, we shall be discussing what is needed in order to install Ansible and set up your own personal lab environment. We shall be finishing this video up with a demo where we shall be putting our learned knowledge into practice. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, what do you need in order to make Ansible work? First, we need the Ansible software, but that only needs to be installed on the control node. Managed hosts do not need to have Ansible installed, as Ansible communicates over SSH sending modules. You need the Red Hat Automation Platform subscription on the control node. Managed hosts running Linux need to have Python 3.6 or later versions installed, or Python 2.7. By default, these come installed in Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 or newer. A user with administrative privileges should be created on the managed host to be used by Ansible and also on the control host. Managed hosts running Windows need PowerShell 3.0 and .NET Framework 4.0 or any other later version. Now that we have covered the prerequisites, I would like to show you a diagram of my lab environment. I have the control node connected to a switch with internet access. To the same switch, I have also connected my two managed hosts named Server A and Server B. I would like to point out that you can use either physical or virtual machines for this setup. It really doesn't matter, it's up to your individual decision. So let's get started with the demo. In a demo where we shall be installing Ansible step by step and then testing it. First, I will be using the user add command to create the user called automation on the control node and also give a password to this user. The password for the user automation shall be Ansible. Now I will be SSHing over to server A to create the same user. I will again use the user add command to add the automation user. As you can see, the user was added, and I will be using the passvd command in order to set the same password. The password will be Ansible. Now, I did mention that this user will need administrative privileges, so I will add him in the sudoers.d folder under the automation file. And I will give him the ability to run all commands as root without requiring any password by putting the following line in the sudoers.d folder. Now let's test this. I will switch over to the user automation by using the switch user command, and I will be running a command with sudo privileges, systemctl status sshd, and as we can see, it has run correctly and no password prompt was needed. I will be exiting this session and doing the same thing for server B, connecting over through server B to SSH, using the user add command to add the user automation, setting the password Ansible for the user automation, and then again creating a text file in the /etc/sudoers.d directory so that I can give the user automation administrative privileges so that he can run the sudo command without needing any password. Now that this is done, I will again test this. I will switch over to the automation user and run again sudo systemctl status sshd. No error, no password prompt, that means it worked just fine. Now I will exit the session and switch over to the control node. I will check my sudoers files on the control node to see if the user automation can run administrative commands without any password, and it is clear that he can. So now I will be switching over to the automation user. I will be using the cd command to go over to the home directory of the automation user and using the ssh keygen command in order to create an SSH key. I will not use any password or passphrase for this key. And then I will be using the ssh copy id command in order to send the key over to server A. In order to finalize the key exchange, I will need to input the password for the user automation, and afterwards, as you can see, the key was added successfully. I terminated by mistake my automation session. I will log in again to the automation user, change directory back to my home directory, and I will do the same thing for server B. SSH copy id server B. I am again prompted for the password, which I will input in order to finalize the key exchange. Well, that was a mistake. So it is done. Now let's see if key-based authentication works. I have connected to both server A as well as server B without any password prompt, so everything is good to go. Now let's exit this session and return to the automation user on my control node. I will be running the sudo yum install Ansible command in order to install my Ansible on the control node, and this will take a while. It has 123 megabytes, so it will take a bit of time. After the installation has been finalized, I can start using Ansible right away. So Yum has solved all dependencies and all the packages were successfully installed. Congratulations! Now before we test this, I would like to show you my /etc/host files, where I have given names to my managed hosts, server A and more respectively server B. Now before we run an Ansible ad hoc command to test our environment, I would like to show you my inventory file. Now an inventory file tells Ansible on which host tasks are done. It is necessary to have an inventory file or Ansible will not know on which host the task should be done. As you can see, I have grouped server A and server B under the category web servers. Now I will run an Ansible ad hoc command using the module ping and the web servers category, specifying the inventory file through the -i option. Everything is working just fine. Green, green, green. The ping was successful. Congratulations, you have a working Ansible infrastructure and a very good lab environment to take us through this course. So, thank you and see you in section 3.